Yes, friends. Now, according to economists, to solve this problem of counting the goods and services, let us see what they said. To get around these problems, economists suggest that the values of goods and services should be used. We should use the values of goods and services rather adding up the actual numbers of goods. Instead of adding the number of goods, let us count the value of all the goods and services that are produced from each sector. In order to get rid of the above problem of counting number of goods and services, economists suggested that better count the value of goods and services rather than the counting the number of goods and services. For example, listen, if 10,000 kg of wheat, is sold at rupees 8 per kg, suppose you are selling 10,000 kgs of wheat, and 1 kg wheat, what is the price you are selling? 8 rupees. So the value of wheat will be how much? 10,000 into 8, that means 80,000. So the value of wheat will be 80,000. So the value of wheat 80,000, that it should be added instead of counting the number of the wheat grain. Similarly, the value of 5,000 coconuts at rupees 10 per coconut. There are 5,000 coconuts are there. Each coconut value is what? 10 rupees. Then what is the value of that 5,000 coconuts? So 5,000 into 10, that will be 50,000. So 50,000 will be the value of 5,000 coconuts. So value will be taken into consideration rather than counting all the coconuts. 5,000, they are easy number, we counted, but if more are there, very difficult. So economists suggested that better to count the value of goods and services rather than counting the number of goods and services. It will become very difficult for the students. Similarly, the value of goods and services in the three sectors are calculated. Primary sector, how much value of goods and services are produced, how much worth value of goods and services are produced. You will not count in a primary sector one paddy grain, second paddy grain, third paddy grain, one pea, second peanut or wheat, like that. You will not count any good. Only you will count the value of the goods from each sector. Primary sector, second sector, tertiary sector. So what is said here? Similarly, the value of goods and services should be calculated from all the three sectors, and then the value of each sector should be added. When you add all the three sector value, then you will get total value of all the goods and services from all the three sectors. First of all, you have to calculate the value of each sector goods and services. Like the first primary, then secondary, then tertiary. Suppose you get the total value of primary sector, then secondary sector, then tertiary sector. Then you add all the total values. Then you will get total value of all the goods and services from all the three sectors. Okay, like this. Now, remember, there is one precaution here. There is one precaution you should take while you are calculating the value of goods and services from each sector, and then you are summing up all the total values. But here one thing you have to remember, you have to take one precaution. What? Double counting should not be there. Double counting, you should avoid double counting. What is double counting? Why should we avoid? Why the calculation will be wrong if you add double counting? Let us see. Listen carefully, everybody. Remember, there is one precaution. That one has to take. What is the precaution and why we need to take while calculating the value of goods and services? Listen. Not every good or service that is produced and sold needs to be counted. Every good which is produced, every good which is sold, no need to calculate them. What is it here? Not every good or service that is produced and sold needs to be added. Listen. It makes sense only to include the final goods and services. While calculating the value of any good and service, we have to calculate only the value of the final goods and services. Always calculate the value of final goods and services only. While calculating the value of any good and service of any sector, you please calculate the value of only the final goods and services only. Sir, what are final goods and services? That you should know. Listen. For example, final goods are those goods which are crossed the boundary line of production. Final goods are those goods which have crossed the boundary line of production. These final goods are ready to be consumed directly. Here, for example, paddy, dhan in Hindi, paddy. Paddy is not a final good. Sometimes it can be final good, but generally it is not a final good. Paddy is intermediate good. This paddy you have to take to the flour mill or that mill, rice mill, not flour mill, rice mill. There you have to tell the person to remove the husk from the paddy. Then they will turn into rice, and the rice you have to consume directly. So here rice is a final good, paddy is a intermediate good. Similarly, wood, log of wood. Wood, a log of wood. Wood is a primary good. And when you make sofa and sell in the market, that will become final good. With the help of the wood, if you are making sofa set or a dining table or a dressing table or a cot or a divan, then it will become final good. Otherwise, the log of wood is not a final good. So while calculating the value of goods and services, you should take only the count of final goods and services, not the intermediate goods. Okay. Final goods and services. Take for instance, I am giving example. Take for instance a farmer who sells wheat. A farmer who sells wheat to a flour mill at rupees 8 per kg. A farmer is a person who is growing wheat, and this farmer is selling his wheat which is cultivated in his field to a flour mill at rupees 8 rupees per kg. The flour mill person, he purchased the wheat from the farmer at 8 rupees per kg, and that flour mill person, he grinded the wheat into what? Flour, atta, and now what he did? The mill grinds the wheat and sell the flour to biscuit factory. I mean, the flour mill owner grind the wheat and he made the flour. That flour again is sold to a biscuit company. Farmer sold wheat to flour mill owner. Flour mill owner, after making the flour, is selling to biscuit company. And the biscuit company, by adding all essence, this and that, okay, they are again selling. I'll tell you rate, don't worry. Farmer sold the wheat to the flour mill owner 8 rupees per kg. The mill owner, after converting it to flour, he sold that flour per kg 10 rupees to the biscuit factory. Now, the biscuit company uses the flour and things such as sugar and oil to make what? 4 packets of biscuits. And it sells the biscuits in the market to the consumers, like people like you and me, at rupees 60. Consumers for rupees 60, I mean rupees 15 per packet. 4 packets, 4 15 is 60. Each packet 50 rupees, 4 packets 60 rupees. So he sold them 60 rupees. Now, biscuits are here final goods. Whereas the flour, the wheat, they are intermediate goods. So while calculating the value, here we need to take only the final good value, that is 60 rupees. No, suppose what is the value of the biscuit packet? 60 rupees you said. On 4 packets. If 1 packet is 15 rupees. So in the 15 rupees value of biscuit packet, again you should not add the flour rate, the wheat rate, again you should not add. Otherwise the value will be increased. Already a biscuit packet worth 15 rupees, that final good, which is sold in the market to the consumer. Again in that, while calculating the biscuit, you should not add wheat rate, that is 8 rupees. You should not add the flour rate, 10 rupees. like this. I mean the difference 8 rupees plus 2 rupees, the difference. You should not add wheat and flour right there. Otherwise the value will be increased. Double counting will be there. When double counting will be there, the actual value will not get. Now, now question, why are only final goods and services counted? Question, this will be a question. Why are the values of only final goods and services are counted? Now, in contrast to final goods, goods such as wheat and the wheat flour is an example of what? Intermediate goods, because they need one more process. Actually, flour also we can bring and we can make chapati. Okay, that is also sometimes used as a final good. But here in this context is what? Intermediate good. So your wheat and flour are intermediate goods. They need one more process before eating. Intermediate goods are those goods which have not crossed the boundary of production line, the boundary line of production. Only final goods are those goods that have crossed the boundary line of production. Okay. Here intermediate goods are used up in producing final goods services. What are intermediate goods? Intermediate goods are those goods which have not crossed the production of boundary line, and these intermediate goods are always helps in what? The production of final goods and services. Now, the value of final goods already includes the value of intermediate goods. The answer for that question, above question, why are only the final goods values been added? For that I am telling you, just listen.